Hey, good morning, everybody. So, how's it going today? Good morning. Let me see. Hey, Angela, if you're listening, you said you were listening. Betty Dan Boop, good to see you. Brittany's in here. Brittany, I don't follow tattoos, and I can't find her channel. Um, so I don't know what I'd like to see it, but hey, Nat A, I would like to see it, but I never can find her channel when I've tried. Shalima, good to see you. Betty Dan Boop, allegedly with Brittany J. Allegedly, in my opinion, with Brittany J. Brittany, I think we should get some Burger King crowns and put some glitter and decorate them all pretty for us because we've got the crowns. Um, Craftastic, good to see you. Sunshine Smiley. Uh, oh, you lost my number? Okay, I'll text you and then you can text me back. How's that? Wait, I can't text you if I don't have your new number. Oops. I'll email you my new number or email me your new number. Oh, thank you, Nat A. Yeah, it's your Tennessee colors, huh? Yeah, let's do it. Glitter up some Burger King, but I mean, I could do that here, but then I'd have to mail it to you and the glitter would all fall off, or we can just both get one and do it. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Let's do it. um, oh, your number's the same. Okay. I'll text you then. You lost your contacts. Cool, cool. All right. So guys, we're gonna look at some cancer scammers. And I want to start with this man in Arkansas who is a sergeant in on a police force and was the resource officer at a school. And he claimed that he had leukemia. And so the reason that my attention was drawn to it because I do like to cover scams, but he's got kids raising money for him, students, because I mean, a lot of times these resource officers are they're friendly with the kids and the kids love them and everything. And so he had the football team. Hey, Dippity Doo. He had the football team doing that, and they did like fundraisers and stuff. He turned himself in yesterday. I looked on our court records for our state. There's nothing there yet. I think that they just don't update as quickly as they used to. I don't know. It should be in there. He's been charged with 2 felonies. He only raised like $4,000. But what he's saying is that he had cancer, but it's not cancer. He's being treated for something else. Well, if he was, because I looked up, do people get misdiagnosed with cancer? And yes, sometimes people get misdiagnosed either way. That they don't have cancer and they do, or they do have cancer and they're not diagnosed with it. But he's still getting treated for supposedly for heart and blood condition, which he claims to have leukemia. I don't think, and that's not one of the common cancers that's misdiagnosed, because I think pretty sure that leukemia, there's indicators because it is a blood cancer. So let's just start with the yeah, it's bad juju, but I've got like a whole slew of people that we're going to look at, including Granny, who faked cancer and got money for it. Hey, no more. So, but I wanted to start with this. This guy just turned himself in yesterday. He is accused of taking donations. And this man that I follow on Twitter, this man I know from Little Rock, just a second. He posted this on his Twitter account several weeks ago, and so I I saw it, and I was watching it. And then he posted again yesterday, hey, I got this. He's not the best guy. Like he's mean to police. He's after all the police. And I have a respect for police, even though we have really bad cops. We have good ones too. And so I'm not anti cops by any means. A lot of people, there are people that do. Bren, how are you? You said your mother died of rectal cancer. I'm so sorry. Yeah, faking cancer is one of the, and Brittany, yeah, she needs to just admit, because what this guy did is he's claiming that he thought he had cancer, but he didn't. So if it was misdiagnosed and he was told he had cancer, at some point he found out the truth because he's not being treated for cancer. Just like with Granny, I gave her the benefit of the doubt, thinking that, well, she's just not very smart, and she heard words that made her think she had full-blown cancer. But the more I found out, no, she was lying about it, because she got real results. And still to this day, I didn't say that. Y'all are confusing full-blown cancer with cervical cancer. Well, that could be the same thing. It's semantics you're trying to play. But yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. But Bran, I'm really sorry. That's sad. I mean, first of all, it's sad that people have to die with cancer. It's taken friends of mine. It's taken dear friends of mine, very close friends of mine, family members of mine. We've all been touched by it, and to lie about it. See, isn't that sweet, Brittany? Okay, we're gonna watch this news story about this one. Most of these stories that I've got pulled up, they're not in depth or anything, because we're not usually here that long. But if one comes along that's new, I will definitely start. We will dig in. We may go at one of them for days. If when one's new, like this case, I don't think it got to that. It didn't get that big, but I think she thought she did it first, but then maybe so, Lacey. That's what I'm saying. In her mind, because she's not the brightest bulb in the package. That's how I thought about it. Well, she just thought she did, and she's mixed up. But then when we found out the truth from Angela, that she knew, full blown to me means that it's cancer and it's serious. It could be, to me, that's what it means. Full blown. I mean, I'm sure that means different things to different people, but like full blown to me means you've got to start getting cancer treatments, and depending on what kind of cancer, you're probably not going to last very long, or you're going to have a whole lot of trouble, and down days and sickness, and it's horrible. How you doing, Lacey? Hey, Trisha. Trisha got monetized. Congratulations. She never had any, Bren, and that's the problem. Let's see, Brittany, I thought that at first, but now I don't. Now that her truth's coming out, and wow, that Bam Bam yesterday really drug her. I don't know if I've never watched Bam Bam, but somebody posted it, and I went over there, and she had been over there trying to get Bam Bam to go at somebody for her, go at Natasha. Yeah, Bren, I thought you were up from over there. Yeah. Anytime you get a scare, like if you're getting a mammogram, which I'm past due for mine, and when you because one time I had one, and the doctor, they said, oh, we need to take one more, and we go back in, and then I go back to the room, and they said, wait here, don't leave. The doctor's going to come and talk to you. And he came in, and he got down on one knee. He squatted down on the floor and was looking up at me, and I was terrified, but it was nothing. I don't know why he treated it that way, but it's a scary thing.
Claim and investigate the claim of a false leukemia diagnosis by an Arkansas police officer. One small town is left confused and wondering where money put towards the cause ended up. Thanks for joining us tonight at 5, everyone. I'm Bob Clausen. Laura has the evening off. Samantha Boyd joining us now live. She's in England this evening with more on this story and what it's all about, where it all began, and how we got to where we are today, Sam.
Yeah, Bob, the Lonoke County Sheriff has confirmed to me.
Hello, flame. And could y'all hear that okay, the news? Tell me if you can't hear it.
That there is an open investigation into an England police officer who received donations for his leukemia diagnosis that was later confirmed he actually never was diagnosed with leukemia. We've learned through his attorney, his name is Sergeant Eric Caffey, and at the time of his incident, he was a school resource officer for England High School, though he has since been moved to a new position in the police department. I talked to his attorney, Bill James, today about how this all happened, and he says Sergeant Caffey.
His attorney, Bill James, is an attorney in Arkansas who he represented I'm sure some of you true crime people will remember when a realtor was kidnapped and found in a shallow grave a few days later. I mean, it was a crazy thing, and it's a case I want to cover in arrears, but I mean, then she said she had cancer and then sent her for tests. Yeah, you get tests first. Nobody's going to say you have cancer without testing, biopsies, blood, all that kind of stuff. Dippity Doo says, I won't badmouth GW. I just left when Lycan was it. Yeah, Dippity Doo. I'm not trying to badmouth her. I know I have, but she is dangerous. Brittany's right. She's a liability and she's dangerous and people need to know about her. But today's not really about her, but we are going to watch a video where she denies that she ever said it and, that stuff. But anyway, let's go back to this guy.
Did believe he had leukemia, though doctors later discovered it was a blood pressure and kidney issue instead. But in the meantime, people in this community were raising thousands of dollars for him and his treatment. I talked to two women at a local flower shop who did not want to go on camera, but they actually organized some of the fundraisers because they themselves are cancer survivors. So for them, finding out he never did have leukemia and they donated is a low blow.
This town is very good, just outpouring love and support. And like I said, with our cancer journeys, we would just never, ever want anybody to be in our shoes or to make up a situation.
These two women didn't want to be on camera, but they're cancer survivors. And cancer survivors are kind of like fallen is it fallen valor? What's that called when somebody fakes being a military person? And the military people will call them out in a heartbeat and they won't let up. And that's what these women, they're like, we've been through this. You don't lie about this stuff.
Like that.
He didn't ask anyone for money, as I understand. I said I didn't ask for it, so I don't need the money. And then he just said, well, I guess it's a love offering. And, he took it.
Now, James tells me they have the money Caffey received in James's trust fund, and it adds up to more than $4,500. They're prepared to give that back to whoever wants a refund, and James also showed me proof of this in their trust fund during our interview. Now, it's important to note, too, the Lonoke County Sheriff's Office has confirmed that this officer is on administrative leave with the England police officer right now, and I did reach out to England police for a comment, and they're not saying anything right now because of the investigation. We'll have more on this coming up tonight at 6.
So, he lied. He's
reporting live in England. Samantha Boyd at KRK4 News.
Sorry. He's claiming that he had cancer and he didn't. And, and that's the thing is when I first was reading on this last night, trying to find out some things to show y'all, it sounded like he thought he had it and then he didn't. Let me look at, because we can look at all the videos on him are just really introductory to this case. But he claimed that he had a leukemia diagnosis that he never had. And he says that he was originally told he had cancer. But after going to Carti, which is a cancer treatment center here, it's huge. It's one of like the two big ones. After he went there, supposedly, he was told it was actually heart and blood pressure condition for which he is still receiving treatment. So he's known about this. Like all these months, he knew that he didn't have cancer. Even if he thought it in the beginning, you can always come back and say, oh, I was mistaken. But instead, he goes on and on and on to accept the money. And for whatever reason, maybe this guy isn't like a bad guy, but look, he's a police officer. He should know better. And also, well, I know with cancer treatments, there's a lot of extra expense and things that you need money for, and then you can't work and all that. So even if you have insurance, but I would think the police department would have really good benefits. I don't know. Why are you got to beg for money? So, but again, I don't have anything against I understand that we need public defenders who will defend guilty people, of murder and things, but I don't like this. I don't like his defender just because of some of the people he's just doing his job, but well, and so he turned himself in, and basically that's all we know at this point. I couldn't find the old videos of him, uh, like the fundraisers and stuff. They're not on their Facebook pages anymore where they used to be. Hey, Whisper. Yeah, there goes his retirement, Betty Boop. Really, there it goes. So we've got a list of these to look at. A lot of these people don't have an illness at all, which I guess this guy really does. A lot of them just want to raise money, and also the Munchausen syndrome people want the attention. And like everybody, we all agree that attention feels good, and maybe that's why some people are so horrible, have such horrible behavior online and on YouTube and stuff, because they love the attention, because we love attention. Most people do. I don't like attention when I'm out and about. I like to kind of be like incognito, but I do like for people to, watch my live streams and stuff, because this is my thing right now. And hey, CLM, thank you. Thanks for being here. So let's watch this one now. My dogs are over here. When do we eat again? When do we eat again? They always want to eat now. They love their new food. Hey, Bones, what's up, girl? All right.
Christmas.
The tears from a mom on a story from Pahrumps channel KPVM looks sincere. Deputies say 31-year-old Tiffany DeArmond told the world her boy had leukemia, but she was lying.
The child is healthy and has never been diagnosed with leukemia. There are no records of the child receiving any treatments or being under the care of any physician.
Investigators say DeArmond solicited money from a GoFundMe account and even asked for donations from deputies and firefighters. In a now deactivated GoFundMe page called Help Me Get My Son to Phoenix and organized by Tiffany DeArmond, the post says, I'm a single mom of 2 boys, one who was recently diagnosed with lymphocytic leukemia. The page raised around $500.
December 30th, he goes for his first treatment in Arizona.
In this interview from December 26th, the video shows how the Nye County Sheriff's Office, the Pahrump Valley Fire Department, and local businesses all rallied together to get presents for Tiffany's children.
Little boy was diagnosed with a horrible little disease.
The sheriff tells me after the heartwarming video aired, someone on January 17th came to investigators saying the boy was not sick. DeArmond was booked into the Nye County Detention Center and faces charges of obtaining money under false pretense. GoFundMe said in a statement the campaign was removed and they banned the organizer. All donors will get a refund. The sheriff tells me she feels sorry for the family and is glad the kids at the center of it all got to enjoy themselves.
Christmas for 2 wonderful little boys.
The sheriff said if you are a victim and donated to the cause, call the Nye County Sheriff's Office.
What is the
Millions of people donate to GoFundMe accounts, but how do you know?
What is the I'm asking y'all. Dogs are running through the house. What is the penalty? Like, do they go to jail when they get caught? I mean, $555 is not going to, I don't think it's going to bring her to like a felony level. I don't know if these kind of scams are like that or not. I don't know. I mean, a lot of these some of these you probably have seen and heard of. And
other news today, it was a heartbreaking.
But these are all, like I said, almost all of them are just a couple minutes long. I found them and I'm just like, look how many people do this that we hear about. I mean, we get it in our news. So
Other news today, it was a heartbreaking tale. A young woman battling.
Hold on. Oh, y'all do have it. All right. Why is it not? Is that the right one? All right, let's try that. Julie. Hey, Julie. Good to see you. Hello. Hey, Amy Eureka.
Both leukemia and pancreatic cancer. The cops say she wasn't sick at all. They say she was faking it to rake in thousands of dollars in donations.
I want people to live. I want to live. I want there to be a cure.
That's Maddie Russo, a 19-year-old college student speaking about suffering from cancer.
They found.
I think this is the one who, she faked. She put a fake port, attached a fake port to her, or attached a port to her that wasn't really attached to her, like inserted into her, that they put in for people who are getting a lot of treatments in a lot of, they don't have to be poked and prodded so much. They get a port.
A mass on my pancreas, and I had stage 2 pancreatic cancer at just 19 years old.
She documented her treatment in a series of heartbreaking social media posts.
Before I even started chemo, I harvested my eggs with the OBGYN. And basically it's just you're kind of like freezing your eggs.
She not only claimed to have pancreatic cancer, but leukemia and a tumor on her spine the size of a football. She raised.
Can you imagine? Look how big she is. If she had a tumor the size of a football, I don't know. That's pretty big. Football. Whisperer said she has that half grin my son gets when he's trying to get away with something. Yeah.
Over $37,000 on a GoFundMe page. Louis Frillman was so moved by her plight, he donated $1,000. What struck a chord with you about her story?
She was a very young person that appeared to be in a serious amount of trouble.
And your heart went out to her.
She was totally believable.
But police in Iowa have arrested her, calling it an elaborate scam. The alleged scam was first spotted by doctors who wondered about this image that supposedly showed her getting chemo. It's not the way a medical port should look. The telltale giveaways, it's not sterile and it's not secured with medical tape.
Hey, Lori. Hey, Echo. Yeah, that's what I was just talking about. I mean, she didn't even fake it good. Girl, learn how to fake it. Yes, it is. The scams. Get a job. Right, CLM?
Look, this is a real medical port used for cancer patients. It's easy to see the difference. I spoke with cancer patient Anna Kauer-Kovetsky.
So the chest port is actually like a little port under my skin. It was inserted by a surgery.
Does it break your heart that someone would fake having this illness?
Absolutely.
Well, GoFundMe says they have zero tolerance for misuse of their platform, and they say all of those donations have been refunded.
Well, and I think it's getting that way with other fundraising things like PayPal and stuff, because you hear about people getting their PayPals taken down.
A new podcast series
because people aren't using them the right way, or if you're raising money and you're saying that you have cancer or anything.
A new podcast series released today.
I think this is the podcast that Amber, my mod Amber, not not Amber, not the other Amber or one of the other Ambers, but my mod Amber, was telling me about. I'm not sure. I've got it here. I'm not sure this is it, but just a second, we'll get to it. Lori says, people like that pisses me off. I have lost so many family members to cancer. Yeah, Lori. I mean, it's amazing when I went to look up cancer scammers, how many of these news stories popped up. Just boom, boom, boom. And I don't think I've ever known. I mean, I've known several friends. I've had several friends and family die from cancer. My grandfather, my uncle, friends of mine. I've had several friends. It's not something to joke about. And karma, whether you believe in karma or not, I just don't, I'm not going to fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just going to be like, no, can't do that.
It's called Scamanda. The podcast focuses on Amanda Riley, who started this scheme back in 2012. She wrote about her fake cancer journey on a blog. The donations she received from the online community never went to cancer treatments, but instead the money was used for her own personal needs. But now, Amanda Riley will spend the next 5 years in prison on fraud charges, convicted of swindling hundreds of donors to contribute to her bogus campaign, raking in and depositing more than $100,000 into her personal bank account. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Northern California says Riley convinced 349 different organizations and others into believing the story.
There's like a 10, it's a 8 to 10 hour podcast. It's broken down. Amber sent it to me. If anybody wants it, just email me. I've got it. I've had a hard time staying connected because it is so long, and I know that I can't stream their stuff. But these people did this podcast. It's fabulous. They used their voices. They use different people as voices for the scam woman and her friends, and it's terrible. Yeah, I think we might have that one today, Angela. I'm not sure.
She was diagnosed with a form of cancer known as Hodgkin's lymphoma. Riley went to great lengths to maintain her deception for 7 years, even shaving her head and falsifying medical records, forging doctors' signatures, and suing one person who had suggested she was faking it. It wasn't until the IRS began investigating in 2019 that her big lie was uncovered. Now, after her 5 years in prison, she will serve another 3 years of supervision. The judge has ordered her to pay back the $105,000 that she stole. So here with us now to talk more about this bizarre case is investigative journalist Nancy Muscatello, who found the story of the
Ginger, it's good to see you. Yes, sickening.
Amanda Riley, and then Charlie Webster, host and producer of Scamanda. I hope that I am saying that correctly, Charlie. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Scamanda, yeah.
Scamanda.
So it's supposed to be a play on words because she's called Amanda and she scammed, but it's so much more than a scam. Just listening to your report on it there, it's about the emotional manipulation that she violated so many people's sense of self, their trust. The $105,000 that you mentioned is just from the wire fraud, which is what she inevitably got convicted for, but didn't include all the cash that was given.
I'm sorry, Julie. That's terrible. But I mean, I'm glad you're free, cancer free. But I'm sure those treatments weren't fun, and then you always have that. You have to go check back and everything. But I'm sorry about your brother for sure. Wow, Ginger. Yeah, it's not something to take lightly. A head cold, nah, no big deal. Cancer.
Given to her, all the in-kind services, the meals and the food that were provided for her, and the pain that she's caused a lot of people, a whole community.
Absolutely.
It's more than the money.
Let's kick it over to you now.
And and the other thing is you can never trust somebody who's lied about that. Like everybody, I had a whole live about lies the other day, and everybody lies. We tell white lies. like, how does this look on me? Or how are you today? I'm fine. I'm good. When maybe you're not, those kind of things. But to lie about a medical illness and rake in hundreds of thousands of dollars and have people praying for you and worrying about you and caring about you for fakeness. No, it's not right. Yes, Betty Dan Boop, it is bad. Yes, if you lie to me, I'm not going to believe you anymore. I mean, I may believe you, but not about this. I mean, if you lie this big, no. But if somebody tells me a lie and then they come clean, then I'm still going to be side-eyeing you, though, because I don't know. I mean, you lied. So, I mean, that doesn't mean that I don't believe you anymore, but I'm going to side-eye you. So, Betty Dan Boop. Betty Dan Boop's got a good name.
Or did Amanda ever have any type of physical illness? Do we know what started this? What was the catalyst for this huge deception?
Yeah. No, she never had cancer. She never had any form of it. Her claim was Hodgkin's lymphoma. And that was the launching off for her when she started her blog. And she maintained that until I would even say beyond pleading guilty.
So, Charlie, as the host of this new podcast, what fascinated you personally about this case, and why do you think it resonates with so many people?
I think that's such a good question. I think it's kind of twofold, because the podcast follows her blogs. So it takes you on a journey. And even though we know that she didn't have cancer and she's currently in prison, she was sentenced to 5 years, as you mentioned. It's actually the first case of its kind by the IRS. You still get convinced by her. And along that journey.
So the IRS got her. The IRS, you can't run from, I guess she didn't pay taxes on it. You get all this money for fake and then you don't pay your taxes. You can't run from the IRS.
That's how victims felt. And I think what fascinated me so much, it just shows the power of manipulation. We think of crime by these big bad monsters, but actually she was wonderful to people. She was kind, she was empathetic, and that's how she manipulated people. And I think it's important to get that across. The second point is that she did this in the early days of influencers. So she started in 2012, which was, I think, the middle of the blog era, before influencers were as a term. And she preyed on vulnerable people. And I think now we're in an age of influencers which have direct access to people. And I think it's really important to raise awareness of this and the impact that it does have.
I know it really does highlight, everything that you see on the internet, even when you want to believe, it is not necessarily true. Nancy, just talk a little bit more about this. We mentioned this at the top, but Amanda was so deep into this deception that she even sued a person who had questioned her diagnosis. And obviously that person was really correct.
She sued somebody claiming that they were, wow. I mean, I think there's gotta be some mental illness for somebody to carry out what this woman did. I mean, she went way over. And I haven't even listened. I've only listened to part 1 and part of part 2 of this whole case, because it's so big. I mean, it's so much happened, and I'm having trouble because it doesn't have any video. It's strictly a podcast, and it's not on YouTube. And so I get distracted with that. Yes, to deal with anything medical, you have to throw out money. Yes, because a lot of times you can't work and stuff too. And then you have to have somebody help you and drive you and help take care of you. And some people don't have family that's not working that can do that. There's just a lot of stuff.
Yeah, she sued me.
That was Nancy.
That was you.
So I was tipped to Amanda back in 2015 while doing investigative work and doing my job. And, at that point, she had already had 3 years worth of her blog out and to read. And so once I jumped into that and really looked at what she was saying and the pictures and everything that went along with it, it took me years of fact checking everything she posted, like comparing every single picture she took of herself to where she said she was and what that place really looked like. And then once she knew about me and what I was up to, I was a problem for her.
So it was so personal. I don't want to speak for you, Nancy, but it became so personal. So it wasn't really a story for Nancy anymore, because from Amanda's point of view, Nancy was the...
Hey, Amber, this is the interview with those podcast people that you sent me. Scamanda. Yes. Well, we're talking about a lot of cases just briefly here today, but maybe I'll just maybe we'll do some in-depth of these. Please subscribe if you're watching and you're not a subscriber. And if you're watching, please hit the like button, because that helps me get more people in here. And so that's, the free way you can, watching and viewing is great too. I'm glad you're here. And if you don't want to click the thumbs up or thumbs down, that's fine too. I just want to ask you if you would, please. All right, let's finish this one.
The enemy that was outing her, and still to the very last second when she got sentenced, she was telling people, the community, online, that it was just actually a mistake because she didn't pay her tax.
Betty Dan Boop, that's what I was thinking, because you know what? She's got to have a mental illness or personality disorder, which is a mental illness too. Somebody mentioned Axis 2 the other day, which includes borderline. I wouldn't, what I know with my degree and everything, and from personal experience, having someone in my life who is borderline, it's just they're more difficult to get along with. They're diagnosed for a reason, and so I, applaud anybody who's working on that diagnosis, because you do have to do a lot of work to be better, to not do a lot of the things that the acting out with the personality disorder, like some people do. And I believe that may be what's going on with this person. It's not that it's not that you don't know what you're doing. It's that you're manipulative and risk-taking and, pathological lying, all that comes with that. So I'm not saying that everybody who has a borderline diagnosis is doing bad things. It's a tough thing if you have it. I feel for people who have it, but you don't faking cancer. It's not an excuse for that.
Tax. So for Nancy, again, I don't want to speak for you, it became this personal thing. And I feel like all of us here, listening, watching, have been affected by cancer in some way.
Absolutely. Well, Charlie, you mentioned the fact that, she was this nice person. She was kind to people. Give us a little bit more backstory on Amanda, because she was a principal at a Christian academy. She's a married mother with 2 sons.
Yeah, I'm really glad you brought that up. She was a principal at a Christian academy. And I met a mother, and it breaks my heart, whose son does have a life-threatening cancer. And his mom even said to me, I think he's going to go before me. Even Amanda at that school said to the young boy, I know how you feel.
Ridiculous. So done with it. Says it's hard to watch for her. Cancer has ruined. Oh, I'm so sorry. And I'm sorry about your husband passing. Yeah, medical bills. Doesn't it just piss you off though? People get money for scamming for cancer when it's a problem. I mean, the disease is such a big problem, and a financial hit and a family hit. It takes people we love from us, and and for somebody to lie about that and get money for it, all these people, and they don't seem to care about it.
I mean, that's to the extent of what she did. She infiltrated a mega church. So again, people that really believed in faith, and she took advantage of that. She even did like chili cook-offs with restaurants in the local community. Online, she posted pictures of herself in hospital actually having chemotherapy. She shaved her head. She said to people that she couldn't raise them, that her insurance wouldn't pay the money for her to have these trials. So people who didn't even have anything, that $20 meant so much to them, helped her go to the trials. One person even donated plasma to try and help her, so much so that the lab actually turned her away because she was donating so much it was a risk to her. But none of it was true.
Yeah, it just shows people really do want to try to help in any way that they can. This new podcast, Scamanda, we know certainly the first episode drops today, certainly going to be a popular one. So much interest in this case. Charlie Webster, Nancy Moscatello, we thank you both.
Okay, so that podcast already is out. It's on, wasn't it on Apple, Amber? You sent it. Again, I can send it to anybody, and if I remember, I'll post it below. I'll post it in the thing because it is interesting. Here's another one. I mean, seriously, y'all, there's so many of these. It's just one after the other after the other.
It was the kind of feel-good story that warms your heart. Jessica Ann Smith, a mother and fitness buff, said she was battling cancer at just 32.
So the music here may get me. I'm not sure on this one. I don't know if Nightline's one of those people that doesn't like their stuff shared. Scamanda, and it's everywhere, I think. Oh, okay, thank you.
2 years old, but was rallying support, encouraging friends and family to hashtag Fight Like a Jessica. With medical bills piling up, supporters answered the call, raising over $10,000 on GoFundMe and Facebook to help.
People are coming out of the woodworks to help, which is, I mean, like, will restore anyone's faith in humanity.
But
it is on so many levels. You're right. I got to pause this one quite a bit because I don't know if that helps or not, but it's a Dateline and I don't know. It has music. Wonder if she's still claiming she has it. Oh, she's probably telling people in prison some other story, you know. Look, I don't want to say any more about what I'm thinking, but you had no idea? Well, I didn't know there were so many of them that make it to the news.
But investigators say it was all a lie perpetuated by Smith to dupe Good Samaritans into giving her money for a disease they say she didn't have, a hoax that led to her arrest.
She made people believe that she had a very serious cancer diagnosis. The fact is, she didn't have cancer.
It started in June when Smith told friends she was facing a mountain of medical bills while battling colon cancer, detailing her recovery on social media.
I had a friend who died of colon cancer. Yeah, no more. Yeah, no more. Good to see you. I mean, yeah, fuck cancer. And, you know, I'm going to say, fuck people who lie about cancer and get money for it, or attention, or free meals, or, you know, attention. Oh, that's just fake attention. I don't know who Jenny Apple is, but that's so sad. Oh, wow. Hey, Cassandra, good to see you. I don't know Jenny Apple. Is she a YouTuber?
Donations started pouring in.
So the sad part of these type of GoFund or fundraising website scams and cases is that they are preying upon people's hearts in the most sad and vulnerable ways. And because of our charitability, we become the biggest targets for this type of charges and cases.
I actually have some like chemo burns right now.
Her story gained added attention in July.
I'll be looking forward to posting that I'm in remission.
When Smith was invited to speak about her diagnosis on the podcast, The Ever-Evolving Truth.
The doctor is taking my history.
Do you know who that is? So done with it, because we could start covering that. I think we're going to head a lot into we're going to do more scams and stuff, because I really didn't realize there were so many. I got to pause that again. So do you know her name or the channel name or anything? If you see it, would you email me at thescoopwithbarb@gmail.com? If you see it like after this, wait, your mother gave a cancer scammer over 800,000? Cassandra, oh my goodness. We should have you up to talk about that if you ever want to do that. Let's talk. Is that her YouTube name? Wow, she got lung cancer non-smoking after she had. Yes, and you can get lung cancer. Superman, what was his name? His wife died of lung cancer and she never smoked. I mean, that's just somebody I know of. My grandfather died from lung cancer, but he was a heavy smoker, so without filters, he rolled his own tobacco cigarettes. Yeah, shaving your head, yeah, that's a lot. But I mean, I guess people would shave their head for all the money they get and the attention if they're lacking attention in their life. Now she's broke, was earning $6K a month down to less than 2. Oh, Cassandra, I'm so sorry. Oh, my 25-year-old niece was diagnosed with breast cancer at age 22, in remission, and just got married. Well, I'm glad it's in remission, Ginger. And I know that's, you'd always have that in the back of your mind. Once you have cancer, you have to, it can come back. Sure, Cassandra. It would help me. Yes, I would love that. Well, let's do a show on it. They told her if you have lungs, you can get cancer. Wow. Well, we do. We breathe in a lot of there's a big thing right now about pollution and how the air we breathe is causing so harmful. So Flame says people are too soft-hearted and need to step back from just handing over a ton of money to a stranger. Well, I have to admit that I am susceptible to certain mental illnesses that people have. Their manipulation, I hate to admit, but I've been manipulated by a few people who are like this. So I have to be really careful. I really don't give much money out. I don't have a lot of money to give, but I don't toss money out on YouTube.
As he's looking at my blood work and he's like, I really think you have colon cancer.
Jeff Berg and Terry Coleman are the hosts of the podcast.
Honestly, the whole interview seemed off from the very.
A doctor looks at your blood work and says they think you have colon cancer. Now, blood work is very important because a doctor it's not just this one number. If this one number's bad and this one over here is bad too, high or low, whichever, they can determine a lot of things, but I don't think they can determine colon cancer from blood work. But I don't know, but still, I don't think doctors typically throw that word around just to be saying it without specifying, if they do, that we're not sure. It could be cancer, but let's check first to see. A doctor doesn't want to put you in a total panic over something that may not be true. So they're going to be on the side of caution when they are looking at your stuff. I don't think they just tell you, well, I think you have cancer. Melatonin every night greatly reduces breast cancer. I didn't know that, Cassandra. Your mother has mild dementia. Wow, Cassandra. Well, yeah, I would love to talk about that.
Very beginning, she was kind of going through like a cancer checklist. She was feeling sick. She was taking off of work because of her illness. She was going through this checklist and it was almost too perfect.
She was very nondescript with her treatment, her diagnosis, and just used very vague language.
Online, people started to question Smith's story.
People have tried to say I'm scamming people. If anyone straight up came up to me and was like, I think you're faking this, I literally would say, okay, you're coming to chemo with me on Monday.
She reappeared on the podcast 4 days later, taking aim at the people accusing her of lying.
Here is my fitness for duty form with the word cancer on it.
Smith stood by.
Y'all, anybody online who puts up a receipt in this day and age, with the amount of tools that we have to make these things, Don't believe it. I could go in there. I thought about doing that one day. I was just going to go make some fake receipt up and put it on, not about cancer, about something, and put it up on my community post and just see what people said. And then say, I just made that up. Especially people who, make their own thumbnails and do their own work on their channel, who have channels with videos where they actually do, like make content like I do. We're able to do those kind of things. Now, there may be some people on here who couldn't, but it's easy to do now. You just go on there and find a blank one and fill it out. It's so easy. Oh, he had to pick her up. Oh, Cassandra, did she know him? Because I wouldn't want to ride with him.
By her story. But what she didn't know was that police were already investigating after they say her own husband came forward telling them he did not believe his wife had cancer.
Her second interview is really where it kind of derailed. We didn't know exactly how we were going to find it all the time, but we were definitely like, I can't believe that she's actually doing this.
According to police, Jessica's story began to unravel. They say her doctor told them those photos, which she claimed showed her receiving chemotherapy, was not chemotherapy at all, but an iron infusion for anemia. Even worse, when they tried to verify her claims of having surgery, investigators say they were told the doctor Smith claimed operated on her wasn't even in the hospital at the time, and that Smith was never a patient.
Jessica's worst enemy is herself. On a number of occasions, she went onto the media proclaiming the sickness of this very rare hereditary colon cancer. Her statements are going to be the most damning things against her in this trial.
While crowdsourcing websites have raised billions for noble causes around the world, Smith is not the first person accused of taking advantage of people's goodwill.
She's in intestinal failure, and we don't know how much longer she has.
Colorado mom Kelly Renee Turner's bucket list for her terminally ill daughter went viral in 2017. Her story even made its way to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. 7-year-old Olivia Gaunt died from what her mother claimed was a rare disease, but authorities now say it was all a lie.
The first child dies. The mother then induces illness on yet another child so she can continue this fraud, continue getting attention.
Turner was indicted on 2 counts of murder and 11 other charges, including receiving fraudulent Medicaid payments of more than $500,000 and theft associated with a GoFundMe account. Her case is pending.
I was driving down 95 and ran out of gas, so I pulled over to the side of the road.
And last year, Kate McClure's seemingly heartwarming story went viral. She said she was stranded on the outskirts of Philadelphia when homeless veteran Johnny Bobbitt Jr. spent his last $20 to buy her gas.
She needed the help. She took the help.
With the title Paying It Forward, the GoFundMe page, coordinated by McClure and her then boyfriend, Mark D'Amico, raised more than $400,000.
It's like winning the lottery.
But the ruse unraveled in a shocking twist.
The entire campaign was predicated on a lie.
It was all predicated on a lie. I mean, what is wrong with people to do this? I think people who have had cancer should gather up and become like these fallen warrior, whatever that's called, when the fake military people, when they fake being military. I've watched it happen. I think that cancer survivors should team up and do the same thing with cancer fakers. How about that? It's a mix of it all, Flame, from testing with my kiddo. Oh, yeah. There's so much that it could be your food. Stolen valor. Okay. What did I say? I said something dumb. But anyway, yeah, stolen valor. I think they should do the same thing.
Authorities say it was all a coordinated scam from the start. The cover photo on the page, staged. They say all 3 were in on the elaborate hoax.
D'Amico, McClure, and Bobbitt conspired to pass off a fake, feel-good story that would compel donors to contribute to their cause.
McClure and Bobbitt both pled guilty in federal court. D'Amico has pleaded not guilty.
It's a shame because those 3 people really ruined it for people who really need the help.
In her podcast interview, Jessica Smith criticizes the trio, blaming them for making life difficult for people who actually need to raise money.
They had to refund all those people.
But soon, it was Smith's fundraisers owing refunds, as both her GoFundMe and her Facebook efforts were shut down. Facebook tells ABC News that the fundraiser violated their terms and that refunds will be processed for all donors. And a GoFundMe spokesperson tells us they are working with law enforcement and they also will refund all donors. Meanwhile, Smith is facing separate charges in Delaware for identity theft and criminal impersonation of a law enforcement officer.
She took advantage of people's generosity and everyone's worst fear of a cancer diagnosis to get money for herself.
For Nightline, I'm Diane Macedo in New York.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the
Look, that's just wrong. That is
ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right.
Sorry. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I think people need attention. I think a lot of people don't get enough attention. I don't get a lot of attention, and I'm not going to go out there and because sometimes negative attention is just as good as positive, but that's if you're like putting out a movie or something and you just want a lot of attention on it. But as people, I don't think most of us want negative attention, but these people, it's negative and positive attention. Oh, poor you, and then throwing them money. It's the biggest scam. It's one of the worst scams. It's horrible. And that's true. So done with it. Cancer is big business. And even if a lot of people will say they don't have a cure because it's big business, right? They just found this thing for diabetes that will help these people lose weight and cure them of diabetes sometimes, and cure them of alcoholism sometimes, and all these things that these new weight loss drugs are doing. But we still don't have a cure for cancer. Although I think some cancers they are getting some, but some they don't. It's social media, Flame. I think you're right. Before social media, we didn't have as much going on. And then you've got the GoFundMes and the PayPal pools and all these things and ways for people to do it. But that's catching up with them too, because they're not going to allow that to be their platform to be used for that. Are we ready to... I've got more of these. Maybe we'll do the rest in another day. Let's do the one that I've shown it here before. This is going to be our last one for today.
So some of the
we can talk about it for a few minutes, but I'm going to end the live with this after we discuss it, because this is what's her name? Peekaboo, I see you. She's a friend of Natasha, and I think I've already played it, and with fair use and everything, she was fine with me playing it. I think I played it before. I think no one wants to truly do the research to cure cancer. Well, Amber, I think that's maybe part of it. I think our medical systems are not, you hear a lot of problems with our medical even when you have insurance, it doesn't solve a lot of the problems that we have. These people remind me of a snake oil salesman in the Wild West. Yes, no more. That's a good analogy. We think of it this way. Even if they did come up with a cure for cancer, you could still get sick of some other new disease that the medications caused. That's true, Flame. Yeah, I don't think she is either. And I thanked her for this video when she made it, because I was about ready to show another video that someone had given me permission to do, but she came out with this, and I'm like, why do I even need to, make a video? Because this has it all in there. So this is Granny, and this is why I don't trust her at all, and why y'all shouldn't trust her at all. And you can't lie about cancer.
So some of the
remember when Granny's watching said she had full-blown cervical cancer.
the rumors that are going around that are making people believe Natasha Cooper is one, the blatant fact that these people don't know how to read.
Natasha doesn't know how to read. I mean, I would, I've been at odds with Natasha, and I've never thought that she was dumb and, in an educated way. Like, she can read, and I'm assuming she can write. And I don't agree with some things she does, but I don't think she's dumb. Oh, wow, Cassandra. Oh, wow, that's terrible. So done with it. All right.
Paperwork. They're sticking to the fact that I said full-blown cancer.
We're going to stick to the fact. You said it. It's a fact. You said full-blown cancer. They're going to stick to the fact. Yes, we're going to stick to the fact. It's a fact. Why wouldn't we stick to it? You think we're going to go back and go, oh, she didn't mean that? It's a fact. You said it yourself. Duh. You found it, Amber? She's speaking about her medical papers that she showed. I know, but still, when they find medications or treatments that actually work, they bury them. They prolong life, but if it cures, they hide it. I don't know, Ginger. Is that true? She sure did say it. It's a fact. It's a fact. They're sticking with the fact. Well, yeah, we're sticking with the fact. You said it. What other thing would we stick to? The lie? Yeah, we're sticking to that too.
The doctor, I never said the doctor said full-blown cancer.
She never said the doctor said. Well, if you said it, it doesn't matter what the doctor said, because you're telling us that you have full-blown cancer. Yes. Hey, Granny, you do realize when you say you are diagnosed with cervical cancer, you are implying that your doctor has diagnosed you with cervical cancer. Right, Granny?
Ask Angela, okay? Ask Amanda. I tested yesterday sentinel. This is what I just got diagnosed with. I don't know what I'm going to do. And I didn't respond back because I...
Here's the Fly to Florida fund. Hey, friends, I decided to make a fundraiser to help bring the kids on vacation this summer, as they both have milestones, birthdays coming up, 10 and 16. As some of you know, I recently spent $3,000 on dental work, which hurt my pockets. Any bit of help to recoup that and go back into our summer fun would be absolutely amazing. She wanted to fly to Florida. Now, this post doesn't say anything about cancer, but she was using this along with her cancer. Okay. Oh, wow, Amber. Let's talk later. I want to hear more. Oh, good. You've got that done. Well, I mean, look. Ugh, it's crazy.
Gone the fuck off, and I spent that time with my kids. No, Kim, it was 2019. It actually progressed already. It's full blown. It's full blown. It's full blown. Yeah.
And I didn't say I had full-blown cancer. I said I went to my doctor's office. They said I have cervical cancer.
This is why I thought, I'm sorry. This is why I thought maybe she just isn't very smart and was confused, because she's confusing that saying full-blown cancer and saying you have cervical cancer are different. But it's not different. They're the same. Full-blown cancer. It doesn't matter. And Yeah, I'm not funding anyone's vacation. Yeah, me too. Me too, Betty Damn Boop. Like, no, if you want to go on vacation, that should come out of the money that you're already making because, like, I don't get to go on vacation. Why am I going to pay you to go take your kids on a vacation? You got a summer, you got a place that y'all go to all the time for vacation. I mean, mine amounts to going over to the lake. I mean, I live in a great place, but I haven't been on a vacation in years. All right.
Not full-blown cancer, cervical.
Actually progressed already.
Okay, if you were to look up full-blown cancer, let's see what, I mean, come on. Not full-blown cancer, cervical. Let's see what full-blown cancer means according to Google. There isn't even, it's not even a doctor seeing more patients with, quote, full-blown metastatic, full-blown cancer definition. Here, let me look at this because I don't know what she's trying to say with that. Full-blown means having all the characteristics of a particular type of thing or person. So having full-blown cancer means you got cancer, Granny. Lord have mercy on my soul. Oh, wow, Ginger. That's great. I mean, that's great that she... Yeah, exactly, CLM.
Full blown. Yeah.
I never said, when I sent that to Tammy that I have full-blown cancer, I said, I just went to the doctor today for a pap smear, and they said that I have cervical cancer, and they proceeded to give me testing to get done to see if I have it. That's what the fuck.
They don't tell you you have cancer and then send you to get a test done to see if you have it. That's what she just said. They don't do that. They might say it could be cancer, but I don't think a lot of doctors are going to throw the C word out there and scare a young mother. I don't think a reputable doctor is going to just throw that out there. I really don't. Oh, you're going to go to CrimeCon in Nashville. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, let's go. Well, I'll stay with Amber.
God said.
The reason I said full-blown cancer is because in 2019, my pap smear was abnormal and I had pre-cancerous cells. So when the doctor told me that I had cervical cancer, to me, it turned from pre-cancerous to full-blown. Okay?
Brandy says, if you've ever been on any kind of chemo, you would never wish it on anyone nor fake. No, I can't imagine. I have a fear of having to go on chemo. That I can't even imagine lying about this. Some will say that, some will see it looks, yes, maybe say it looks suspicious, but they're not going to tell you it's cancer. And don't lie. That's right, Betty Damn Boob. Still lying about it.
That first off, no doctor can tell you what stage anything is until it's tested.
Well, what do you think full blown is? I would think full blown would mean you have cancer. I mean, I know it means you have cancer. Even at 2 a.m. in a basement after being diagnosed with cervical cancer and dealing with the shameless harassment of the pieces of shit like you all, I still look better than yous. Use isn't even a word. Don't worry. I'll be camming up properly to shut you all down. Ain't no shame in my game. I know what I am. Well, Granny, you had to get people to come up on your panel with you to cam up. You were so scared to cam up because you tell everybody you're so beautiful, but you're not. You're an ugly inside. You have ugly insides. Do you hear yourself screaming the other night? It's been played everywhere. And the stuff that Bam Bam was saying about you yesterday was, whoo, girl. Girl's got some problems. Doctor told me it's poison. It is poison. Yes, Brandy, it's poison. It messes you up. And there's the fake cancer didn't bury her, lies buried her. Oh man, Flame, I hate that, but at least you get, yeah. It's like, this is crazy. Just a month and 2 days ago, this is what this clip's from. It's admitting that everyone, including Natasha, never had cervical cancer.
Listen, here's the facts. I'm 33 years old, okay? My vagina is fucking young and having fun.
Oh my God. And then she says everybody talks about her vagina. Her vagina's young and having fun. Lord have mercy, lady. What is your deal? Seaweed died of some sort. My doctor told me it's not a matter of if, but when. Oh, wow. Drama queen.
I had something that anybody can catch. You can catch it at the McDonald's fucking toilet.
Sure, Jan. Yeah, sure, Jan. Remember, you can get or give warts even when both of you have no signs or symptoms. HPV cannot be spread by touching hard surfaces like a doorknob or a toilet seat. It also cannot be passed by sharing clothes or towels. How does she think she's such an expert at how she got HPV when, what was the thing she said recently? Well, Laura Lulu, I think any stage would be, if I had cancer, of course I would, full blown to me doesn't mean, it does. I think full blown means it's not precancerous, right? Well, she had precancerous and now it's full blown. That to me is the differentiation. I don't know for sure. Yeah, your vagina's young and having fun, Granny. But you, you've let us know. You've let us know in the last few days how sick you are, and you will go to no link. You'll go to every link to try to deny. You deny that you ever did this, and there's proof of it. I've got another whole video we could watch. We could watch. This whole thing I've got. I have permission to stream the whole thing. So shut up about saying you have cancer when you don't, and quit lying about it, and quit making everybody else look dumb, or try to make everybody else look dumb, and call Natasha a liar. I'm not friends with her, but there's no reason to push this off on her. She didn't do anything to you about cancer. Just one thing that if you live on YouTube, you could at least, yes, if you're going to be a true crime person and you don't even know how to Google, if I had something pop up on my butt and I didn't know what it was, like a hemorrhoid or something, and I didn't know what it was, I'd be going and looking it up. I wouldn't be talking to my friends about it. What is this? Like there's some kind of doctor. Yeah, they can remove it if they catch it early. A lot of cancers, if we get our health checkups on time and everything, a lot of times cancer can be caught, and it can matter if you're going to live or not, right? And I'm behind on all my stuff. I'm behind on my flu shot. I'm behind, I guess I need to go. Right, no more. I keep testing clear now. Yeah, so that's what I have today. I do try to keep these morning live streams on the shorter side, closer to an hour. I have about 10 more of these cases, so maybe we'll just do a follow-up with these and go through some more. And Cassandra, I'm serious. I'd love to have you on and, tell your story about what happened with the cancer scammer. Mature women, but she shames us incessantly. Like, I'm not ashamed of being my age, Granny, Yeah, me too, Flame. I'm not going to come on here and tell everybody. But I'm also not the one that's on here asking for money. I don't have it streaming. I don't talk about it. I'm talking about it now. Money, 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 money. But I don't sit here and ask y'all for money. If somebody wants to help me, they will. If somebody wants to tip me, they will. But I don't, I'm one of the few who doesn't come on here and drop my link, especially when you're monetized and then it's in my about section, but drop it, keep dropping it or scrolling it to get money off of YouTube. I like that. It's helpful, but I'm not the one who's over here asking for money all the time. Yes, Laura Lulu. I do remember the day. I remember the day when you didn't even, that's why sometimes you just assume that a doctor's male because, I had a new dentist when I went in. My dentist retired and he sold his practice, and I had seen the new guy who bought the practice. But this guy, this woman came in and she's probably, I don't know how old you are when you graduate from dental school, but she's young. She's very young. And I was like, wow. Oh, wow, Ginger. Well, I'm glad they got it all. I'm setting up a GoFundMe for some Hershey's bars, marshmallows, and graham crackers. Yeah, come on over, Flame. You've already got the flame. Come on over and come out to my fire pit when it gets cool here again. And let's make some s'mores. I appreciate y'all being here, really, and the interaction. And I'm sorry for so many of y'all have had cancer up close and personal, and I understand how you would be angrier than I am at these people, all these people, not just Granny, but all these people we showed who are cancer scammers. The younger the doctors get. Yes, they do. Yes. And people driving other cars. So I'm going to go for now. I'll see y'all tomorrow. And y'all be kind to yourselves and be good to each other. And don't scam for cancer. Have a great day. And I'll see you soon. Bye.